The Evening Whispers, Thursday, October 1st, 2020. Calcella organizers remind parents to not allow their children to attend unsupervised. Rachel Florencia confirmed to perform at Coachella 2020. Gil Naiman and Maruki Harukami to collaborate for a new IP. Not yet. Not interested. I'm looking at stuff. The Only Reason to Learn How to Fly by Freya Fatima. It happened again, I told her as I exhaled smoke. What? I took the train once to get here and fell in love twice. Not this again. She sighed, looking like she wanted to stub her own cigarette out of my face. I just can't help it. She said nothing. It's way easier, you know? Seeing someone from afar, letting your imagination roam as you daydream about how he or she lives, ignoring the fact that what you see is not the way they are. It's way easier. You can't keep doing this to yourself. You know you need something real. I mean, this might be a stupid suggestion, but you're still using that dating app, right? Try to be a little more open-minded while you use it. I agree. Good. I agree that was a stupid suggestion. She looked pissed. Okay, hi, cheese. Let me adjust the audio levels real quick because it's like really loud for me. And I'm gonna raise it like that for you all. Quiet cheese for me? Yeah, the cheese is a little quiet because the game was pretty loud. Let me see what audio source that's going through. Real quick. This will tell me actually. Okay, it's going through audio output capture. It should be more balanced now. That's good cheese. She looked pissed. I couldn't blame her. It's not like this was the first time we talked about this. In fact, our conversation tended to happen about once a season. You need to stop overthinking, go out and stop putting impossible expectations on people. I'ma find me a dinner, BRB, hell yeah. You know I can't do that. I've only tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. And how's that served you so far? Now I was the one who said nothing. I'm afraid, I said. Of what? Of what'll come later. I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, people around me won't accept them, whoever they are. Fuck the people around you. Another stupid suggestion. I could be jailed for that. Okay. She took a long drag of her cigarette and narrowed her eyes at me. What happened to you recently? Huh? You don't usually overthink quite this much, so something must have just happened. Truth is, something did happen. Something too silly to even be discussed, but she knew me. She knew about my problems, so I told her. I watched a stand-up comedy show. Seriously? It's true. I watched one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I knew he'd recently got married to someone he loves. Someone I thought was very similar to him. All this time, I thought he took the easy way out, finding someone who'd quickly be accepted by the family he was born in and the family he's about to make. Hello, Bagman. How are you doing today? But it turned out his journey was far from easy. There were hardships I never knew he faced, and when he talked about it, it scared me. Why? The fact that I'll have to deal with that someday. The fact that I might have to choose between side. At least when I see people in the train and imagine a life with them, those imaginary people don't create these kinds of problems. They do create a different kind of problem, though. He's right. You know, sometimes I feel like I just want to go to the tallest building in the city and just jump, I said. To die? That's not to fly, you fool. Because if that really happened, all the things that would be scaring me won't matter. I can fly. Why the heck would I still care about all these boring everyday problems? Ain't that the dream, weirdo? She said as she lit another cigarette, leaving the discussion unresolved until it comes back around with the spring rains. Alright. Sorry, we're not open yet. Oh, Neil, you've come very early today. Is there anything I can help you with? There is definitely something you can do. What is it? Can we work here? Excuse me? What? Is it possible for us to work here? What? Why? We have learned something precious since we first arrived here. Communication is very important on Earth. I just came here to say goodnight. Well, you have a good night then. I hope you sleep well and don't run into the Hat Man. Communication is very important on Earth, and Earthlings communicate in a very complicated way. It blows my mind to learn that you need to mix between verbal and nonverbal communication here. Yes, but I can see that your communication skill has improved an awful lot since you arrived. That is true, but it is not enough. Some of the biggest lessons about Earthlings we have learned. We learned them here. This made us think. Instead of focusing on finding a breeding partner, we should focus on learning how to communicate with Earthlings properly. Sounds like a good strategy. That is why we asked you to allow us to work here. Because you want to interact with our customers? That is correct. I'm not sure about this. Neil, not only if you're applying for a job on Earth, you have to go through a certain process before you can finally get the job, if you get it at all. Oh. Let me think it over if you don't mind, and I'll let you know tomorrow. Oh, no. We are sorry for our spontaneity, but it has to be today. May I know why? Because we are leaving for an event tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you. But with one condition. You won't be making any drinks. I'll handle that. Once I'm done, you will give the cup to the customer. Understood. There are other things you need to keep in mind. What is that? Dealing with the customers. Some people come here just to chill. They might come for a drink, work, or to read something. I strongly suggest you let them be. But always be prepared if they want to talk about anything. How can we know whether people want to be left alone or not? That won't be easy. But you'll be able to judge based on their body language. Nonverbal signs? Yes. That will be very hard for us. Indeed. Don't worry. I'll give you a sign. When you should start talking, or when you should stop. Thank you. We will need that so much. Well, that's basically all you need to do here. Do we need a special outfit to do the job? Not really. I'll lend you an apron, though, to help keep your suit clean, and to differentiate you from the customers. You don't really need more differentiation, but it will make you look more legit for the job. That is a very Earthling thing to do. It is. All right, then. Are you ready for this? We are. Okay. Let's start the night. We have an employee. He's probably very bad at his job. Welcome. Holy wow. What the hell is happening? Good evening, Miss Freya. Hey, Single, what's going on here? Well, Neil is working here tonight. And I thought I was the one who had brought bad news. I never thought this place would be ground zero for an alien invasion. It's not that. Neil's just helping out. You've never looked like someone who needs help. There are a few things to clarify, Miss Freya. First, our mission was never about conquering Earth. In fact, it is the other way around. Second, judging from the situation, we are actually the person who's getting help from the barista. Not the other way around. What? We have learned some things since we arrived, and we came to a conclusion. Before starting another breeding mission, we should learn more about how Earthlings communicate. We thought that this place would be the best place to learn. And you just agreed to this? On one condition. I make the drinks. Neil here will only be here to serve and communicate. Fair trade. What's in it for you then? What? You're helping them here. What do you get in return? Now that you mention it, if there's anything you want from us, please do not hesitate to ask. Don't mention it. Well, maybe you could be my next story. You can write an article about your work here. Freya? If I still need to write for the paper again. What happened? The chief found out. Is that why you didn't come yesterday? Yep. How'd she find out? Remember my fateful meeting with the higher-up? In the elevator? Yes. Same thing happened with my chief. They met each other in the lift. And the higher-up mentioned our encounter to her. Chief called me into her office, and things went downhill from there. She realized immediately that it was the reason for my poor performance lately. She didn't like it, of course. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you gonna do now? I got Spagooter, hell yeah. You got Piscetti. Write the goddamn novel, I guess. And after that, hope that it sells well. If not, I don't know. We do not understand what is really happening, Miss Freya. Yet we feel the immense sadness and frustration you feel. How about a warm cup of drink? It is on the house. Huh? You allowed to do that? We will pay for the drink. No, it's okay. It's on the house. It was a nice thing to do, Neil. That was the best thing to do, according to our senses. It was. So, what do you want to drink, Miss Freya? Your favorite. Our favorite. Anything. I trust you with the decision. We know what she likes. Espresso. Here is your drink. Especially crafted by the owner of this coffee shop. Well, who else is gonna brew it? Thank you so much for this. I always wonder why your place only served hot drinks. But today, I might have an idea why. How far along are you with the novel? I can prepare the draft in a few days, I think. Now that I don't really need to care about the other deadlines. And if I manage to infuse some coffee and creativity into my blood, that sounds doable. Even without the caffeine infusion. Excuse me, Miss Freya. We have learned extensively about the Earthlings' bodies. Oops. About all the races. And we do not think infusing your blood with coffee would be advisable. I'm sorry, Neil. I'm not really in the mood for this sort of conversation. It was just, Neil. Freya wasn't serious about infusing herself with coffee. Oh. We are glad to hear that then. That was a figure of speech, Neil. Ah, we have heard about that term. It is still very hard to understand your language. It's always gonna be hard. Languages will keep on changing. Understood. At least we are here now to learn the basics of how Earthlings communicate. Miss Freya, if we may ask. Ask away. How fast do you write? Not fast enough, apparently. But do you have numbers? Numbers. How many words do you produce per day? I don't think I have the exact number. But full time, I should be able to write between 3,000 and 5,000 words per day. That's a lot. That's raw. After that, I still need to edit it. I usually end up with about half of what I originally wrote. According to our research, the standard number of words for the thing you need to write is between 50 and 100,000. That's right. But for this draft, I don't need to write that much. That is a pleasant information to hear. How many words will you need to write? Let's see. I think it should be around 15,000 words. That's pretty big for a pitch draft. Well, it's a GRA media, biggest publisher around. If we count based on the number of words, it seems like you'll be able to achieve your target easily. I wish. Writing isn't only about the number of words, Neil. It requires things outside the mere word count. If we only judged writers by their ability to write a large number of words, then we wouldn't have poetry or short stories. That is pretty hard to understand, but we learned beforehand that art is a difficult matter, even for Earthlings. Yup. Earthlings seem to have a fascination for things which are hard to understand, from languages to arts. Right again. But you're not that wrong about writing, you know. Word count's one of the few things you can't objectively judge a story by. It's not the most important thing, but it's still up there. So it's still a valid parameter? Definitely. Cool. That didn't sound at all like you, Neil. I guess you really are learning something on Earth. Oh, another guest. Good evening, Miss Myrtle. I won't even ask. Except for one thing. Who's making the drinks? I'm still the one responsible for that. Good. Coffee with a little bit of ginger, please. ginger coffee. Jahe Tubrik. Your order is ready. Not bad. Thanks. You are welcome. What brings you here today, Miss Myrtle? Neil, some people come to a coffee shop just to sit without being disturbed. Oh, that definitely seems to fit Miss Myrtle's visit here. Actually, I'm not here to just sit without being disturbed. Ah? Pardon us. I was just training Neil how to talk with the customers here. I can see that. You're still trying to get laid? Oh. No, we are not. We are tasked with learning how Earthlings communicate with each other. Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. One suggestion. If you want to blend in with us, I'm using such formal language. Start talking the way we talk. Start listening the way we listen. Which, essentially, is not really listening at all. That would be very difficult to achieve, but we will try, step by step. One small step for you might be the one giant leap for your kind. That was nicely said, Miss Freya. By the way, Miss Myrtle, now that we know you are not here for your usual activities, are you here for someone then? Yeah. Oh, is it Aqua? Uh-huh. What's the occasion? No special occasion. It's just... I'm sorry. I'm late. I was supposed to leave early, but... What is this? What's happening here? I already told the barista that I'd call the cops when he was going to breed here. Where's Single? Miss Aqua, please relax. I'm here. Oh, you're safe. Yes, everything is fine. Okay. Please, let me take a breath. Here, please drink this water. Well, I guess you are a water person. Feeling better now? Yes. I'm sorry. It is all right, Miss Aqua. Everyone has been surprised to see me here. What are you doing here, anyway? We're starting to think that we might need to make a recording for the answer to this question. You don't need to tell me if you don't want to. No problem, Miss Aqua. It is time for our break anyway. So, here's the deal. That's really interesting. Very nice of you to do this, Single. It's nothing, really. But you do really think one day is enough to learn everything? Definitely not. But we do not want to disturb this place's business for any longer. And if this place cares about business, besides, we want to travel around the planet more. This coffee shop is a good start. But we cannot limit ourselves to just this place. Where do you want to go after this? Coachella. What? What are you going to do at Coachella? According to our research, there are many breedings happening during Coachella. That's why we decided that event will be our next target. Well, you're not wrong. But didn't you say the baby has to be born out of love? Yes, we noticed that. We also noticed that we need to know a lot more about Earthlings, including the breeding manners. That is what we will be studying in Coachella. After that, we will be very ready to breed with so many female Earthlings. I shouldn't say this, but hell. Sounds like the best plan you've got since you got here. Breed, yes, Neil is all about wanting to breed. That's all Neil wants. We know. We also surprised ourselves. But please, Miss Freya, let us stop talking about the plan. We will work here today. First, let us return to our spot behind the bar. He's got a fetish? He does indeed have a breeding kink. So our discussion with Miss Myrtle was stopped abruptly. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. What are you two doing here? It's nothing. We're friends, you know? We just wanted to hang out, talk about our work. We both work in the same field, remember? Yes, that's it. I don't have that much experience in game development, you see. I thought your research was in computer graphics. Yes, but I've never made a game from scratch before. I was always a bystander, so I've been asking Myrtle for feedback from time to time. Today I wanted to thank her directly, but she arrived first, so I couldn't buy her a drink. Never mind that. I'd refuse it anyway. But, wait, if you wanted to thank her directly, does that mean you're done with the game? Excuse me, Miss Freya. It should be your, not your. Oh, so you're correcting my grammar now, huh? That was a slip of the tongue, okay? I'm sorry. How'd you even pick up on that anyway? It's not like what I'm saying is written down anywhere. Well, I hate to tell you. There's like these small text bubbles underneath you whenever you speak. That go into everything you're saying. We just know. Back to you, Aqua. So, you're done with your game? There's quite a lot of things I need to polish and fix, but players can enjoy the experience from start to finish. What kind of feedback do you give people for a video game? That depends on the game, but in Aqua's case, most of my advice was about the pacing, control, and the UI UX. Huh. It must have been fun to have finished working on your creation. It surely removed some of the weight off my chest. Just to replace it with another weight. I mean, there's still more to come after you're done? I'm not done with my book. I just lost my job. And if I can't finish this draft on time, I'm done. And even after all that, if it doesn't sell well, I'm even more done. Doubly done. I'm sorry to hear that, Freya, but please be more confident. I'm even starting to doubt myself. I read some of your short stories, you know, after our first meeting. I subscribed to the Evening Whispers app, and then I read some of the stuff you wrote. They're really good, you know. Some of them are even better than others, but it's still an enjoyable experience to read them. So I'm excited to check out your book once it's done. You're too kind, Aqua. What you're going through is more or less the same as what Myrtle's going through. I'm sure you'll both be fine. Ugh. You don't have to talk about it in front of other people. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's just that sharing is caring, you know? Okay. Thank you for helping me share with other people. I really am sorry. I know, I said thanks already, right? But you put so much emphasis on share. That's sarcasm, I know that. Aqua, I'm sorry if it sounded that way, but yeah, I kinda get what you're dealing with. Although it's a bit different from me. What's your problem? Burnout. I've been working on something for 2 years straight, but no one else at the office knows about it. And those who do don't seem to appreciate it at all. I thought Fullmetal Conflict had a new game every 2 years. Yeah, I don't really work on them, not directly. So what do you work on? A secret project. I'll tell you under friend NDA, okay? Alright, I'm not with the paper anymore anyway. I'm part of a special team. We're tasked with making a breakthrough in the studio. We need to be able to make a prototype for a new IP. Or, worst case, another FMC game in a different genre. Isn't that a dream job for some people? That's what I thought, at first. You're a writer, right? Imagine being a writer, but you can't publish anything you write for years. That doesn't sound like a pleasant situation at all. My team has been making pitches, dozens of them, hundreds, thousands. Out of all those countless pitches, only a handful got approved for prototyping. And so far, none of the prototypes have been approved. Ouch. There's only 7 of us on the team. The 7 Samurai. That's what they call. So you haven't released anything for the last 2 years? Sometimes, our team works to support others. When they're going through a crunch cycle, they need to hit an almost impossible target, we jump in. No wonder you folks would consider it the 7 Samurai. I guess, yeah. By the way, Myrtle, I just realized. What? Usually developers get their vacation time after finishing a project, right? More or less, yeah. When's the last time you had a vacation? Before I joined this company, I guess. That's like 4 years ago. Dude, no wonder you're so burned out. Yes, that's why. You need a vacation. But I can't just take one. You can. In fact, you would do it tomorrow. Yeah, it don't work like that, Chief. I hate to tell you. They do not give 2 shits about your vacation time. In fact, you'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow is not done yet. You would take tomorrow, the day after, and another day after off. But where should I go? Coachella. Don't worry, I'll take care of that. You will? I'm going with you for this long weekend / vacation. Okay, well, I don't think you... That seemed to be moving a little fast. What about Max West? That's not this weekend. Forget about it for now. Hey, okay. But I can't do it tomorrow. How about starting Friday? It's still a long weekend getaway, right? Alright. Oh, I'm so excited. Wow, Aqua. You look like a different person. Really? I'm sorry. Don't be. Okay, it's settled then. I need to go home now and prepare for our getaway. I'll come with you. To my apartment? No, we'll walk together to the bus stop just like last time. Oh, okay then. Everyone, see you next week, okay? Have fun. Take care out there. May you find joy in your vacation. Okay, see you folks later. Well, they're gonna have an interesting weekend. It's also a very impromptu trip that you're just randomly taking someone else on. Vacation, huh? You definitely need one, Freya. I know, but not now. I've got to finish this draft first. As we have said before, you can do it, Miss Freya. Thanks, Neil. Anyway, are you gonna close anytime soon? Depends. Why? I'm in the mood for some writing. Then please, take your time. You sure? You want another drink, or you gonna be on with? Still in the house. I definitely won't say no. Hey, we did another day. Friday, October 2nd, 2020.
Drink water. Become.
Thank you for the hydrate. I will become it, the moist. The Evening Whispers is with the people for stricter gun laws. New healthier furry sedative might be available sooner. Action video game Rising Hell, blamed for violence in school. Yeah, that sounds about right. Happily Ever After. Ever After. Ever After. Part 1. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. But I do want to be here with you, here in this moment stuck in eternal limbo, in an infinite loop of this exact hour forever? Hell yeah, I do. That's probably the last time Romeo ever remembers having a meaningful conversation with Juliet. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, dear readers. Just like any other story, this one has a beginning, and it begins with an introduction. Romeo's a young man of 20. He comes from a quite conservative but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're just like almost every other family in the world. He hates the name his parents gave him, and he hates it even more, knowing that his life is so far as fulfilling all the cliches of his fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a girl named Juliet is really just like the icing on the cliched cake. Juliet is a young woman of 20. She also comes from a quite conservative but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're also just like almost every other family in the world. She loves the name her parents gave her, although she hates the fact that her life is fulfilling half the cliches of her fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a boy named Romeo is unfortunate, but she has no plans to die stupidly over it. Both of them study at the same university, and they're definitely not the type of people who'd naturally choose to be friends. Fate, however, in the form of a hip young lecturer with an overenthusiasm for assigning group projects and an unfortunate sense of humor, is what brings them together. A simple group assignments is what introduces our young Romeo and Juliet to each other. Even after their first fated meeting and the many, many more meetings required to finish the assignment, there's There's no sign that Romeo means anything more to Juliet than a friendly acquaintance she spent a lot of time with in the library. Nor, honestly, does she mean that much more to him. In fact, after she made an ill-judged joke about the literary elephant in the room, she probably means significantly less. But as time goes on, and as the group assignments keep coming without the lecturer ever assigning new partners, Romeo and Juliet become closer. Oh, hey, oh gosh, that is way off. That broke since the last time I used this. Well then. Something got mispinned now. They both begin seeing things in each other that they hadn't noticed before, though for Romeo, the fact is rather frightening. How could I fall for someone like her, and named Juliet no less? I can't accept it. My mind's just playing tricks on me. Again and again and around and around, his thoughts chase themselves whenever he sees her. A beauty? Yeah, it's a little broken. The day is Monday, and Romeo has a class he needs to attend. However, something is different. Normally a relatively anxious fellow, he finds going to class requires a lot of willpower. Today, however, he finds himself hurrying to get there. He knows why, of course, but he refuses to admit it to himself quite yet. The first thing Romeo does when he opens the door is to look at a specific table, the table where Juliet always sits. To his unacknowledged disappointment, the table is now empty. "Fuck," mutters Romeo under his breath. He doesn't curse because Juliet is not there, rather. He curses because noticing this was the first thing he did upon entering the room. After sitting in his usual place, Romeo reopens his book and begins reading. Every time someone opens the door, Romeo turns immediately to look and quietly whispers a curse. Again, he's not cursing because he's disappointed it is not Juliet who enters, he is cursing because he turned to look. A few minutes before the class begins, Juliet finally arrives, announcing herself and her friend with a braying laugh as she does so. That sound used to be one of the most annoying sounds in the world, at least as far as Romeo was concerned, but today it brings a small smile to his face. "Fuck," curses Romeo again after he realizes he just smiled at the sound. Is Romeo in love? He probably is, but he doesn't want to admit it. Falling in love with Juliet is dangerous, extremely dangerous. They come from completely different backgrounds, they have different skin colors, and they worship different gods. He has no problem with interracial relationships, of course he doesn't, but he's never expected it to happen to him. Simply, it will not do. "I need to talk to you." Romeo looks up. Juliet is standing over his table. Her jaw is set, but her eyes are worried, and he completely forgets about his own problems. What's up?" he asks. "Can you keep a secret? It's really important." "Sure, I guess I can." "Good, because I really need someone to talk to." So, Juliet sits down and begins telling her story to Romeo. She talks about the problems she's been facing over the past few months, of how they affected her study, about how he's not the first person she's talked to about this, on, and Romeo listens to every word. Eventually, Juliet stops talking and sits quietly. Romeo thinks that she looks somehow lighter than she did before she began talking. He doesn't know how to react to what she told him. He tries giving her some advice, really stupid advice he thinks, as soon as he said it. But he believes it's probably much better than just listening and nodding and watching her walk away. He doesn't think he wants her to walk away from him. He thinks about this. One thing is for sure. Juliet trusts Romeo as a friend. They've shared a secret now. Even though Juliet has shared the same secret with others before him, this still makes Romeo happy. So damn happy. How pathetic am I being happy because someone I like came and told me she's not? Romeo thinks, and then shakes his head like a dog shaking off water. After sharing everything she had wanted to share, Juliet starts talking about lighter topics. Soon, they are joking freely. The dark mood of earlier almost completely dissipated. Just before Juliet leaves, Romeo asks her something. "Why did you tell me all that?" "Well, I don't really know. I think I can trust you now. You're one of those rare few people who can talk to people directly without sugarcoating everything. It's refreshing." She shrugs. "I guess that's why." And what Juliet said is true, but Romeo finds it amusing that even though he normally speaks directly to everyone, he knows he can't do that with Juliet. He's not himself when she's around, or so he believes. After that conversation, Romeo falls even more helplessly in love with Juliet. It's stupid, he thinks, as someone who rarely falls so hard for anyone. But Juliet is driving him crazy, and the fact that she makes him feel the closest thing to love he's felt in years. Yet, a big wall of cultures, norms, and other societal traditions stands between them. hurts him even more. That is, of course, if Juliet is even into him anyway. As weeks go by, Juliet and Romeo become closer. They start telling each other stories more often. But all these stories are limited to their courses, their friends, and anything at all besides their feelings for each other. She's not into me. She's just an extrovert. She's friendly with everyone, Romeo keeps thinking. And it's when he's thinking about that suddenly Juliet comes and sits at his table. He said you wanted to tell me something. It's true. He had already sent a message to Juliet telling her he wanted to talk about something. Oh wow, driving straight in. It's nothing at all important, really, said Romeo. Come on, it's not like you'd be so indirect about things. What's wrong with you, boyo? Romeo actually called Juliet to talk about her attitude recently. She's been weird, at least in Romeo's eyes, and it feels like she's getting farther away, removing herself from many student activities she'd usually partake in. Juliet answers all his questions, all his thoughts and concerns about how she seems to be removing herself from all the things, all the other side activities she manages to shrug off or easily explain. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm obsessing over every single thing she does, thinks Romeo, while a pit opens up in his gut at the thought. Is that all? Anything else you wanted to say? She questions him. Fair is fair after all. You know that I used to like you? Words came out from Romeo's mouth out of the blue. He's horrified. Even as he recognizes that it's a lie, he still likes her. He doesn't even know why he decided to confess his feelings right now at this random moment. Never mind why he confessed with half a lie, but it wasn't planned at all. When he heard Juliet say anything else, well, it's definitely one thing Romeo has been planning to say to Juliet for the last few thousand eons, or as normal humans measure time, since around 8 months ago. Juliet shows a flash of surprise and then says, no, I had no idea at all. Why? Why what? Why do you like me? Or did you like me? I mean, there must be a reason. Oh, of course there is. Romeo opens his mouth to tell her and pauses. He blinks slowly and closes his mouth again. Or not. I don't know. I think there is, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm talking gibberish. Juliet doesn't respond to that. Romeo doesn't even dare look at her directly, but he can't see out of the corner of his eyes that she looks dumbfounded. He takes a breath, opens his mouth again, hoping for a lightning strike, divine inspiration or instant death. He isn't picky. Okay, I see you as a really strong person, okay? You have a big girly side, but you're also a really strong independent person. Or, I get the girly part, but what makes you think I'm strong? Well, just look at how you work with all your other assignments and organizations. I definitely could never deal with anything as well as you do ever. Oh, come on. Everybody has something they're good at. You can do things that I can't. It's pretty normal, you know? I know, but still. I'm not sure how that's probably what attracts me to you the most. When he says that, Romeo tries looking at Juliet just for a moment. He saw a twitch of smile on her lips, but dared not even hope. He ascribes his imagination. Next. So what's next then? Asked Juliet. To be honest, I don't know. I said this because I can't keep hiding it forever. I need to say it to you, even though I know it's impossible for me to ask you out, considering all the differences between us. Juliet pauses. Oh, of course. You don't need to say anything, though. I just needed to get that out of my system. That's all I wanted to say. Well, okay then. I have something else to do. You don't have anything more to say, right? Yes, no, that's all. Juliet nods and walks away and says goodbye. After Juliet leaves, Romeo lets out a heavy sigh. Good work there. That's a hell of a lot of old baggage I just let go, and a whole lot of new baggage I replaced it with. Here's an interesting fact about our Romeo. During this whole conversation, he hadn't been able to keep himself from shaking. It's an old habit that he just can't let go. To his relief, they'd been sitting during the whole conversation, so he couldn't hide his tremor. Still, even though he feels an intense relief after telling Juliet about his feelings, his hands are still trembling. He has to wait a couple of minutes before he can walk by himself. So now, after Romeo's long-awaited but ultimately useless confession, what's next for Juliet and her Romeo? Funnily enough, neither she nor Romeo ever mention it again, at least not to each other. Romeo did eventually tell some friends about his feelings for Juliet, but what about Juliet? Romeo didn't know anything about how she was coping with this revelation. He expected that she'd probably told some of her friends, as he had told his, but that doesn't even matter, he tells himself. We're not meant for each other anyway. Watching from outside, nothing seemed to change between them. They still talk about their classes, how they're friends, about shows they've watched and books they've read, but they've never mentioned it again. The time when Romeo revealed his feelings to Juliet. At first, Romeo had thought that confessing his feelings would mean letting go of a big boulder inside his heart. As it turned out, it only transformed the boulder into a restless rock monster asking for more. Eventually, he realizes letting Juliet know about his feelings isn't enough. He needs to have her. He wants to hold her tight. He wants to stare into her eyes and tell her he loves her to Pluto and back. He wants to hear her say, "I love you too." He wants to kiss her. He wants to run away with her to a place where no one cares about their differences and just sees them as a cute couple in love. He wants to do all the good things in life, together with her, and more. Anything on this earth, he simply wants her. The feeling is killing him. How could she be acting normally after that revelation? Does it mean his feelings mean nothing to her at all? The peak of his emotions comes one day when our hero is falling asleep. Suddenly his body is drenched in sweat, his heart beats too fast, and his thoughts only run to one thing: Juliet. He wants nothing so prosaic. He needs Juliet. He doesn't care about anything else, about the traditions, about their families, about anything. There's only one thing he needs to do tomorrow, and that's to confess his feelings again to Juliet. This time, however, he's going to ask her out. If she feels the same way, he will ask her to give it a try and fight the world together. He resolves that he's going to take the leap of faith, and it will be the first thing he does the next time they meet. Alright. Young love. Young, troubled love. Okay. Welcome. Good evening, Mr. Baileys. Evening. Am I the first customer tonight? You are. That's new. Freya's not here? She said she's coming later tonight. Got something to do with meeting some fellow writer friends? Why not do it here? It's her favorite place, right? Her friends have visited this place from time to time, just not as much as her. Writers gathering, huh? I wonder what writers talk about when they're hanging out. I've known them for some years now. I'd rather not say anything. You'd rather not say anything on the prospects of young love, young troubled love? I don't know necessarily if I would consider it young love. Conway and I's relationship had a significant amount of troublesome issues towards the beginning of it. I wish I could find love again. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, it's really hard to... Because, like, love comes in a bunch of different aspects, and I know, like, that's kind of a cop-out answer, but obviously people want to find a connection with people that constitutes love for a lot of people. Especially in this society, yeah. And some people have found that, like, their love comes in the form of, like, the love of themselves or the loves of the things that they do. And I think it's a little bit different for everybody what that love kind of formulates itself as. But like this, we're in a period of time where, like, it's very difficult to get genuine connections with people. Even in the online space, right? Like, yeah, you can get closer to people through the online space, but at the same time, like, they're faceless individuals most of the time. You don't see anything about them, and there's always that level of separation between all of you. Versus, like, I have anxiety, so I just don't like seeing people in general. So it's all the same to me. You know? She has this habit, you know? If she said they're friends, that means they're just hanging out normally. But if she said they were writer friends, they're probably talking about their work. Either giving each other feedback on their latest drafts, or sharing and validating ideas. Interesting. They even use code words for their meeting up. Oh, it's not like that. She doesn't even realize that's what she says. I just picked up on it. That's even more interesting. Are you always so observant? It's part of the job. Why is that? People come here every day. Some of them aren't as talkative as others. But their body language can be loud and clear. They can tell you a lot of other things. Whether they need a friendly ear or just want to be alone. It applies to what they're ordering as well. Because, you know, sometimes what people want is not what they need. That's deeper than I thought it would have. So, what are you reading from me now? I won't say. Why? That would break the charm. The hell was that? I guess I can say this much. Whatever I say or do to our customers, I always related it to what I'm getting from their body language. Including our interaction now, including our interaction now. Man, now I see why you didn't want to share. But that was enough to make me feel like I'm naked in front of you. By the way, I haven't ordered anything. What are you having tonight? Hot chocolate, with ginger and cinnamon. It's a good drink for a bitter heart. Chocolate, ginger, cinnamon. Enjoy your weird drink, dog. Oh, it's literally called Bitter Heart. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. You're a pretty romantic person, huh? Spending extra time decorating this drink. Only for special people and special drinks. Say, Single, tell me about yourself. No. Absolutely not. Unless you want to hear about my migraines, but you'll never hear much about my personal life. What do you want to know? Anything. How old are you? Old enough to open a coffee shop? Oh man. I guess I should say sorry for asking that. It's alright. But that's the only answer I can give. Now you're making me wonder. What should I ask next? Hello everyone. You are looking quite rough. Are you both looking at me like that? Freya, you look horrible. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to echo our dear barista. Yeah, you do. What happened? You'd be better asking what didn't happen. Because the answer would be proper sleep and decent progress on my draft. You need to rest. And miss my deadline? Hell no. Sorry, Baileys. I won't be able to keep you company. Because I have to finish this thing. And for that, I'll need a whole hell of a lot of espresso. Are you sure about that? You should just rest. Get something to help you sleep. Espresso, please. Now here's the thing. Do I give them something that they want or something that they need? Boost. Sips my hot chocolate. Hi, Gutty. How are you doing? How you doing, Gutty? What they need? Alright, let's see if we have anything for what they need. Fuck your wants. What would be good to help someone sleep? You'd want to start with like a tea base, obviously. But no, how are you doing today, Gutty? I'm doing good. I've heard good things about it. Yeah, this game's a lot of fun. It's got a very good story to it. It's a lot of fun. Plus, there's like an endless coffee mode into it as well if you really wanted it. But no, it's got its charm to it. Plus, you can draw latte art. Okay, so we do that. There we go. It looks like a beautiful smudge. I know, right? I'm Calcifer, the magical fire demon. Here you go. What the hell, dude? This isn't even coffee. Drink. This isn't what? Drink. Okay. It's on the house. It better be. How was the meeting? It was pretty good. I got a lot of good advice. But also means things. And not a small number of them, mind you. I'd kiss these people. Yeah, a lot of them are hot. There's the vampire dude as well. He's a model. Yeah, he's a model. There's also Myrtle. And there's Aqua. Aqua's nice. Gala. Big werewolf dude. Need to be rewritten. Oh. It's not that bad. Rewriting is part of the process. Never mind, I like the big werewolf dude. That's fair. Gutty, you did miss the conversation I had earlier. Where after we finish this, I've been given the suggestion to start playing Otome games. So if people have Otome games suggestions, I will be playing through some of them. Or I guess just like visual novels in general. Come to me, I have plenty of suggestions. Come to me, my child. I have suggestions in the ways of the Otome game. Ways. I have volumes upon volumes of various BL games for you to play. Come to me, my child. It's just that. I'm going to my usual corner. Although, thanks to your drink, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to stay away or not. I really do. I have BL and Otomes in just normal dating sims. I'm gonna have to scour the Gutty repository. She looks horrible. She does. But don't worry about her. She'll finish it. Yes, good. This isn't the first time she's acted like this. No. But this time the stakes are pretty high. So, what brings you here today? I'm not even sure myself. I had no plan tonight, and this place just came to mind. Out of the blue. I'll have to thank your subconscious then. I guess you should. Oh yeah, there's Lua as well. Lua's a demon. She's a succubi. Not sure whether I should thank it or not, though. Hi, Lua. Hi, Bailey's. Now, hi, Jerry. Jerry's your stream over? Are you done stream, Jerry? No, you first. I was just gonna ask, how are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. How about you? I'm good, yeah. How did the rest of your stream go? Now that your Skyrim nudie mods are gone. Huh. I think I need to order something first. Oh, of course. Go ahead. Hi, Single. What are you having this evening, Miss Lua? Gingerbread coffee, please. The fuck? The fuck is gingerbread coffee? It was good. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you I have. Yeah, now you don't have nudie mods because they're all deleted. Or ever. No. Not possible. Okay, so if we're talking about like a gingerbread type of latte, gingerbread coffee. So we obviously need coffee. I don't know. Because what? Is that a... Broken Heart is... Chocolate ginger... Is it like coffee? Milk? No, not milk and cinnamon. No, no, no. Coffee, cinnamon, honey? I have pretty boy mods. Close enough. That sounds so yummy right now. It does sound pretty good. Cinnamon honey coffee. Okay, what is a gingerbread coffee? Coffee, not mint. Mint wouldn't make sense. Lemon wouldn't make sense. Cinnamon definitely makes sense. Ginger? I'm an idiot. I was gonna ask, is ginger and gingerbread? God damn it. Thank you, Gutty. Thanks, Gutty. Here it is. Thank you. My grandma used to make this drink for me. It reminds me so much of her. It reminds me of when I was growing up with my family. How's work? It's going pretty okay. Get the notification off my screen, please. Please. That's a great question. I know. I'm a modern day Pluto. I'm a modern day philosopher, I'll have you know. You? I'm not taking any new jobs on at the moment. Because, well, you know. Yeah. I get it. If you have enough in your savings, right? That's a very Lua thing to ask, but yeah, I do. Thanks to the least annoying job. It went well in the end? Kinda did. They paid me on time at least, and the pay was amazing. How long you plan to take a break for? I don't know. Until my problems are settled, I guess. And what problems are those? I'll tell you this. But don't tell anyone, okay? Not even Single, who's standing right in front of us? Not even Single. Okay. So there's this girl. I love her. We've been going out for a few years. But I'm not really sure where we stand now. How can you not be sure? We had an argument about a week ago. But it wasn't anything new. Somehow, things escalated uncontrollably. Why's that? I assume both of us were just tired, knowing that we're fighting against centuries of tradition. We haven't really talked since our last fight. Leaving things unresolved is not a good idea. But I can't bring myself to start the conversation. Why? Even I'm not sure about that. Pride, maybe? Or tiredness. Or knowing that chances are we won't be able to find a best solution for everyone anyway. Baileys, I have a question. Go ahead. What do you think she's feeling right now? To be honest, I don't know. She's not like me, that's for sure. Thankfully. Why? At least it won't affect her professional life that much. I'm glad I'm a freelancer. It means I can just take a break from work without so many problems. I'm not as professional as her, you see. I think you're wrong. Really? If I were her, I would find it difficult to live life as usual. But I'd put on a lot of masks, just to hide the feelings I was going through. That sounds difficult and uncomfortable. It is. But a friend told me once, you gotta do what you gotta do. He must be a pretty cool guy. He is. I think they're talking about each other. Just a hunch I have. Gay? Gay. What's next for us, Baileys? But get a room. Gay. I don't know, Lua. I met some new people this week, including that supermodel. You knew? Girl in the corner told me. Yeah, including the supermodel. And how does that make you feel? Like a fool. What? You said a lot of things that I've been trying to avoid thinking of. A lot of truths. He's a bit like you know. Attitude-wise, you'd get along with him. Doubt it. Opposites attract, but similarity breeds contempt. Ever heard that before? A lot. From a certain hipster elf. And after listening to that guy, what's your stance on, you know, us? I'm not sure, Baileys. What about you, yourself? Had any similar experiences this week? I have, in fact. You met a vampire, and I met a werewolf. What are the odds? What are the odds indeed? What did your werewolf say? Not much, to be honest. But he made a good point about the importance of family. Baileys, I know I've been stubborn about you wanting to make peace with my family, and I know that's very important for you. But Freya said something that kind of hit me hard. What was it? I was just using you as an excuse to escape my family, when I actually want to do that anyway, for myself. You know me, Baileys. I do. And you know how I feel uncomfortable with people leaving their families, which makes me an asshole, I guess. I get why you think that way, Lua. Blood is thicker than water. That phrase is actually backwards from what it was supposed to mean, just so you two know. Just so you two know. Just so you know. Yeah, I don't trust that phrase. Well, that phrase was technically meant to be something completely different. When that phrase was first coined, it was made to say the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Yeah, exactly. Which was essentially saying your church is more important than your family, aka your friends are more important than your family. So now we've completely turned that on its head, though, and now say blood is thicker than water to mean your family is more important than your friends, even though it was initially meant to be the exact opposite. But also, I don't trust that statement in either direction. What should we do? Lua. Yes, Baileys? Please, let me leave my family. I'll try to get your family to accept me. I think life is life and trust your heart. Yeah, pretty much follow your heart. Use the power of friendship. That sounds like an easier thing to do after all. But you will lose your immortality. You'll be an outcast among other elves. An outcast from a bunch of overly pretentious people? Sounds great. You'll live a long time, but you won't ever have the perfect health and perfect life that's the elven privilege. But it's not a perfect life without you. What if our relationship doesn't last? You'll have lost everything. You'll blame me. Lua, I'll never blame you for anything. If we're talking about who I used to be, that guy would have never blamed himself. 100 reasons for why something failed, but never anything to do with him. But that won't happen with us. You know why? Because I've learned so many things by being with you for 10 years. It made me a better person. So, you don't need to worry about any of that. Because right now, you're the most important part of my life. I don't need an immortal life, because without you, it won't be a life worth living. Baileys, I believe in you. Ow, my eyes. Gay. Finish Lua and Bailey's arc. Hell yeah. Lua. I clicked off. Baileys? I feel like we're living in a soap opera. It seems so. So what's our plan? Tomorrow's Saturday. Did they Keith? Yeah, they did Keith. They did indeed Keith. Now Keith. Are we going on a date? I'm going to my parents' place. Oh. And I want you to come with me. What? That's so sudden. Did you already have plans for tomorrow? Well, no. Nothing like a date to your parents. Exactly. Welcome to my parents' house. My mom left out some snackies. It's just, I'm not prepared to meet them. That song is great. That song is indeed great. You'll be fine. You don't want to tell them about this first? It'll be alright. Well, Meeting parents on the first date? Well, technically, they've been dating for 10 years. This isn't exactly the first date. Well, they never forbade you from dating other races. First real date. First public date. They're not big fans of elves, that much is true. But you can prove them wrong. Okay, this could be a good first step. It is. It's set then. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow, but we can think about it. And anything else later. I'm with you on that. So, does that mean you don't mind me? I had my doubts, but now I'm sure. I can trust you. Lua. Thank you. My water fell. Are you still staying at Farron's house? Yeah. You're staying with me tonight. Oh, hell yeah. Huh? What about your roommate? She's away for the weekend. Taking a long weekend getaway until Sunday night. Fate is on our side, it seems. Hey, Single. Yeah? We're leaving. Well, yes. Thank you so much for keeping up with us this past week. Pleasure was mine. We're off then. See ya. Thank you for coming. That was pretty intense. Oh, you're back in the real world. I just pretend not to notice. They're like one of the main reasons why I'm writing this story. So I have to see their struggle through it to the end. It's important for the writing, you know. It's cold. What? It's not like that. It's just that... Yeah, that was cold. I'm sorry. You look better than before, though. For now. I can't tell you how to feel until it's done. And I don't... Oh, hey, what's up? Here comes the poke. Thank you, Hoshi. What's up, bud? You seem to be having something right now. Woof, woof, woof. Boy, 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 boy. Whoa. Hey, get over here. This wolf, is that him? I think so. Looks like I came just in time. Welcome in, Thorn. How are you doing today? Welcome, sir. Are you crazy? You can't treat a werewolf in a fury like a normal customer. Trust me. You must have reasons for coming here. You can relax, sir. If you need anything, something to calm you down, maybe. He's a little angry. Hello, princess. Daddy's angry. Good, you? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I don't remember the recipe. It was a green tea, honey, ginger? Not green, regular tea, honey, ginger. Not that either. Milk, honey, ginger. Or tea, milk, ginger. S. Close enough. First try. Here's your... All right, later. See you next time. What the hell? Is that really him? After seeing the reaction to the drink, 100%. Well, whoever he is. He's not himself. He's not himself without his Dwinkie. This place survived. Thankfully, yes. But I think I need to close up shop early. Don't want to cause any more ruckus. And I need to clean up some of the mess anyway. Good idea. Can you get back alright by yourself? I'll manage. Take care on your way back. You be careful too. See you tomorrow. See ya. Right. I think that's where I'm going to call it for today. I think we're getting close to the end of this. I have to do this. Otherwise, it's not gonna save. Get out of here. I don't know who you are. Get out of here. Get out. But no. We got through another 3 days tonight. How far are we from... We're here? Last play, day 12. So we just played day 12. So here. And then 12, this. Okay, so we have 3 days left.